are now looking at a 2024 Honda Amaze 1.2 Comfort Auto in radiant red metallic. And let's be honest, we've known for a long time that modern consumers aren't at all interested in kilonewtons or valve count. The only thing they care for is price, flashiness and gadgets. So, here are some new age pros and cons of the cheapest Honda sedan. The Honda Amaze brutally deals with most people's first problem of affordability by abusing its Indian roots to land at our doorsteps for between 255,000 and 295,000 rand. It may be comparatively small, ditto for its engine, but it offers plenty of metal for your money, below the magic 300k mark. Our local range is powered by just one engine, a 1.2-litre inline 4-cylinder petrol, which, in true Honda fashion, churns out its maximum power of 66 kilowatts at very high RPMs, while its optimum torque figure is also up there in the clouds. In plain English, that means you have to rev the nuts and bolts of this little car to get decent response. On the flip side, Honda offers two sensible trim levels, Trend or Comfort, and in the top spec model we tested, you can choose between a 5-speed manual or a 0-speed CVT automatic gearbox. Unless you really can't or don't want to pilot a manual vehicle, most of us would implore you to go for the manual, because having no gears may be the party trick of a CVT, continuously variable transmission, because it always stays in the power or torque band of the engine. But as previously mentioned, the ones in this car are sky high, so the drivetrain tends to scream or yodel quite a bit, especially when trodden on. Honda has followed international standards by programming gears into this transmission, but they are essentially just simulated ratios. And on top of that, they've also given this model a set of paddle shifters behind its steering wheel. This gives any Amaze CVT drivers a degree of drivetrain control, but we still found it a rather odd inclusion. But let's quickly swing back to the brighter side of things, which thankfully apply to every Honda Amaze. These are very fuel-efficient vehicles. The brochure alleges just 5.6 litres per 100 kilometers, 5.7 for this auto, from the tiny 35-litre tank, and we're delighted to report that low 7s or high 6s were easily achievable for us. Alas, every single one of our drivers had the age-old Honda problem of being unable to pair his or her phone to the small but efficient media screen. Perhaps this press car's phone database was full, but that shouldn't stop a new user from being able to delete single or multiple previous entries. That would especially apply to the rental or fleet markets, which this Amaze is perfect for. This may be a relative claim, as this vehicle is obviously smaller than the industry's crossover or SUV darlings, but you can easily shove 4 adults and a bit of luggage into this compact sedan, without everyone sitting on top of each other. Read, this would also be a perfect retirement or young family car. As a bit of a Honda and cheap car fan, I'll be the first one to stick up my hand and admit that this is a subjective matter, sadly based on the observations in our bloated SUV market. The Amaze is not a handsome machine at all. It exhibits many of the odd proportions and desperate design details of cheapy Indian stuff. And while I'm dishing out hidings, it should come as no surprise that fellow motorists anonymously disregard it or openly mock the poor thing. That means you'll get cut off or dissed quite often because you're not in a big bucky, or people will blatantly ask you with a confused expression why you didn't buy the umpteenth crossover. Enough already. If you are blessed with a healthy dose of self-confidence and just want a good little sedan, this 4-meter-long Honda Sun can become your best friend. Other impressive numbers include dry weight of around 950 kilograms, sensible 175/65 R15 wheels, a 10.2 meter turning radius, and Southern African friendly ground clearance of 170 millimeters. Although someone bemoaned the reversing lorry beep, everyone applauded this car's decent rear-view camera, remote audio buttons and cruise control on the steering wheel, plus the family-friendly cloth seats. Steering and handling are also perfectly acceptable, making this car easy to drive and easy to live with on a daily basis. Although this was the top-spec Comfort derivative, we were pleased to find many powered goodies, LED headlights, multiple 12-volt sockets and cup holders, ISOFIX child seat anchors, alloy wheels for all models, plus a massive 5-year 200,000 kilometer warranty. Only the service plan is a bit shabby at 2 years or 30,000 kilometers. To start summing up, it's easy to see why this competes with the Hyundai Grand i10 sedan and VW Polo sedan. The latter is quite expensive, although it offers a boost in power, while that freaky-deaky looking Hyundai is probably the golden middle ground, which also goes for pricing. A brand new Honda Amaze 1.2 Comfort Automatic currently retails for 292,400 Rand. The Hyundai Grand i10 1.2 Fluid Sedan Automatic is about 310, while Volkswagen thinks that their 1.6 Life Sedan Automatic People's Car is somehow worth almost 400,000 Rand. With fairly similar specifications, it's easy to see why the Honda is a bit of a bargain and hence such a wholesome new choice.